Have you ever felt something that no one else could? Something so intimate and persistent that it becomes a part of you? That's how it started for me. I was a child when I first felt it. A hum. It wasn't a sound you could hear with your ears. No, this was something deeper. It was in my bones, in my muscles, vibrating through me like a second heartbeat. It wasn't painful, just there, a constant companion. I'd try to explain it to my parents. I'd say, "Can't you feel that? The hum?" They'd look at me like I'd said the sky was green. My mother would pat my head, and my father would chuckle under his breath. "It's your imagination," they'd say. "Stop worrying about it." But it wasn't my imagination. As I got older, the hum came in waves, stronger, weaker, then gone for weeks at a time. I thought maybe they were right, that it was all in my head. But by the time I hit my 20s, it never left. It became a constant drone in the background of my life, like a song stuck on repeat. I went to doctors, of course. I had to. I mean, how could I live like this? They ran every test imaginable. Scans, blood work, neurological exams. Nothing. They said I was perfectly healthy, but I wasn't. They didn't believe me. They thought I was making it up, seeking attention. They called it psychosomatic. Then they said I might have Munchausen syndrome. Munchausen. Can you believe that? I was lying, apparently. Lying about a hum I could feel in every cell of my body. Eventually, they stopped listening. I stopped talking about it. What was the point? People only believe what they can see or hear, and the hum was invisible. It was mine alone. My parents were all I had, but even they didn't understand. I think they tried at first. My mother would make me tea, rub my back, say soothing things like, "It'll pass, sweetheart." My father would suggest long walks or distraction techniques, but none of it worked. And then they were gone. I was 21 when they died. The official report called it a murder-suicide. My mother stabbed my father multiple times, then slit her own throat. No warning, no signs, just gone. I inherited the house. It felt wrong living there, but where else could I go? It was mine now, for better or worse. I locked their bedroom door and threw away the key. Whatever happened in there wasn't meant to be revisited. The house was quiet, too quiet, except for the hum. Always the hum. I stopped taking care of myself. What was the point? Eating felt optional. Drinking water felt like a chore. I'd go days sometimes without food or drink, and yet I didn't feel hunger. I didn't feel thirst. My girlfriend left me not long after. She said I looked like a corpse, and maybe I did. I didn't argue. How could I? She deserved better. The hum grew worse. My teeth rattled constantly, like they were trying to escape my skull. The ache was unbearable. I couldn't take it anymore. One night I stood in front of the bathroom mirror, naked and trembling. I grabbed a pair of pliers. It didn't hurt, not really. One by one I yanked them out. The roots snapped like brittle twigs. By the time I was done, the sink was filled with blood and teeth. I didn't know what to do with them, so I left them in my dog's food bowl. Oh, right, the dog, Augur. I woke up one morning and he was just there. A big scruffy thing with a wagging tail and a bowl that said Augur. I didn't remember getting him, but I must have. Who else would have? I fed him, patted his head, and went about my day. He became my only companion. I started making videos. It began as a joke, me scaring people with my toothless grin. Their reactions were priceless. Disgust, fear, laughter. I uploaded the footage online, and people loved it. They called me the walking nightmare. But it wasn't enough. I needed more. More reactions, more views. I shaved my head. Then I tore off my scalp. It was messy, but worth it. The hum grew louder, almost approving. People online couldn't look away. My channel grew. Thousands of subscribers, millions of views. I was a star. And then there was Happy. He said I owed him money. I didn't know him, didn't care. He barged in, shouting, threatening. I grabbed a knife. The hum told me what to do. Happy didn't bother me after that. I showed my fans everything. Cutting off my ears, my lips, even my eyelids. They called me insane, but they couldn't look away. R, though. R was different. He started biting me. At first, I didn't mind. He was hungry and I had plenty to give. But it wasn't enough. He grew thin, his ribs jutting out like broken branches. One night, I let him go. It was the hardest thing I've ever done. He tried to follow me, whining, but I ran. I told him to find a better life. I hope he did. Years passed. I stopped eating, stopped living. I consumed what was left of me, my flesh, my marrow. The hum guided me, comforted me. It was all I needed. And then the door was open. Inside I saw them, my parents' skeletons, still embracing, and happy, rotting on the floor. The hum roared in approval. It was time to become the hum. I skinned myself first, broke open my bones, tore out my eyes. Finally, I ripped my head in two, and then I was free. Now there's only the hum. Does anyone else hear the hum?